Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2, where I have been thinking a little bit about how we are actually going to complete this game. The fact that we don't seem to be in control of all of our factions, or all of our alliances' initial capitals, makes me a little bit worried that the supremacy victory may turn out to be functionally impossible. Right now, it says our alliance controls 7 of the 10 required major factions' home systems. We control 3, and then Horatio still controls his initial home system, containing Horatio Prime. The Unfallen still control their initial home system, containing the planet of Koyasil. But it's tricky to tell whether the Vaulters and the Umbral Choir still have their home systems, because their home systems are not marked in any special way. The Vaulters get to settle. They don't have a unique planet. They just sort of settle wherever they feel like settling. Scorpius seems like it very well could be their initial settle, because they start at this rejuvenation field. So yeah, that's right there, and it's got some resources and some planets. I could see them making that move. But we have no way of knowing what the deal is with the Umbral Choir, and so it's possible. I mean, I suppose one thing that's possible, and I hadn't really thought about it, is that the Umbral Choir does control their home system, but that fact is, like, hidden from us. So I guess it might be the case that if we just take the couple remaining capitals, we'll just win. You know, their whole thing is being stealthy and espionage and whatnot, but I don't feel confident that that's the case. So if it turns out that the conquest victory can't happen because we can't figure out how to have all 10 at the same time, how do we win the game? Well, obviously there are a couple of other options. We could expand over 120 star systems. That's a thing that's 100% doable, but it would be tedious. It's probably not the case that we can win a science victory, because the AI is just very slow at research and kind of like everything in the game. We could, in theory, win an economic victory. We're a significant portion of the way there already, and I would hope that our AI partners are continuing to generate more and more money per turn. Obviously, I'm not helping very much on this front, though, and we are still ranked 2nd on that. We probably will not be able to win a wonder victory in our alliance, because it's unlikely we'll be able to convince our alliance mates to make any obelisks. It's at least possible with this one that we could build all 12 obelisks ourselves, unlike the science victory where there's only 4 techs to research, so we could never get to 12. But basically what I'm thinking is, if we can't actually win the supremacy victory, we are probably going to have to leave our alliance to win the game. So, I'm not sure which victory condition makes the most sense post leaving our alliance. We could certainly build 4 obelisks of space-time, which is what I think it takes when you're alone. We could research the 4 endless techs. Our science per turn is not great, though, and I'm worried that would take a really long time, especially since we're not even at the point where we have them unlocked yet, and it's turn 217. So, I don't know. Basically, where I've come down on it is I don't know. I don't know what I think we should do. We're gonna keep pushing on this conquest victory, see if we can indeed win it, and if we can't, we'll improvise, I guess. Alright, now that we have this large combined fleet, I think we can safely go and gather some relics. I don't think we're gonna get jumped by anything that's gonna take out 6 chancellors all of a sudden here. What is the cost for selling this to the Academy? 6,400? I mean, we're not in any big hurry. We can wait for that, cost to reduce as much as possible. So we're planning on just raising Lyra. And then a lot's going to depend on what Blue does, I suppose. I'm going to be honest with you. We're doing a really bad job of winning this game. But fortunately for us, all of the AIs are doing an even more bad job, an even more terribler job than we are doing. I'm still a little nervous about the fact that we are not first on the economic victory. We'll see how things work out. Excuse me, who do you think you are? Alright, we need that dust very badly. Alright, the Obliterator launch event has ended, and we're back to normal obliteration speed. I'm not too concerned about that. What did I have? I had a hack running to Nakos. Also, Gemini was compromised. Well, I mean, Gemini can afford to just run some domestic surveillance. We will discover if there are any sleepers. I'm not too worried about it, though. We could infiltrate their scanners. I don't know that this has a lot of value, honestly. We could... A hacking defense program on the system prevents low-level effects to be applied. That's not 100% English. I guess I'm just going to scramble navigation, prevent their fleet movement. I don't know that any of those hacks are actually tremendously important. I could, I suppose, have just embedded sleepers. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. So what do we want to do here? What do we actually want to do with Maz? I mean, we may as well build the luxuries lottery. It's a lot of extra approval. Once Maz is completely under our control, I'm sure it will be well over 100 approval, and we won't have to worry about it too much. But I would like to get there as quickly as possible, and this thing has functionally no cost. And then I guess this system could be modernized. Can we afford to make that happen? So let's see here. We're short 38 gigalattice and 96 trees. I mean, it ain't going to be cheap, but we certainly have a lot of stuff to sell to get us there. Wow, there are a lot of trees on the market. So that's going to be 6K. And we're bringing in some pretty valuable resources at a pretty impressive clip here. Let's say 100 of those. Buys me that. And that. I think this is a reasonable thing to do here. Okay, and then we should probably re-specialize a little bit. Citizen science is... Oh, actually, as long as we don't touch it, we get the original version of the planetary specialization. I guess, though, this probably doesn't actually provide any science at all for us, right? Because this is... Well, this is science from the population, not from the planet. I'm not sure how this combines with our no science from planets trait. I also don't know that it matters terribly. We should probably just swap it for something else. This planet does have resources, but they're not great resources. I'm inclined to just temple this whole system. I think that's what we're going to do, actually. We don't need this system to do anything other than provide a huge amount of influence output. Okay, new ion wave is ready. I appreciate the pop-up on that. And we hit a new population collection bonus on the Kalgaros. Kalgaros hit 20. Okay, so that's actually a good one. Plus 20% influence on any system that has a Kalgaros. That's actually pretty great. Alright, it's a tremendous amount of micromanagement sometimes to keep your populations growing. We should probably look through and figure out where we're at with the Zirmasala, whether we have any Zirmasala left in places that still have room for growth. I'm trying to figure out, do we need to be running anything else here? Would we really benefit from running anything else? Plus 10% dust output per luxury deposit on systems is going to turn out to be a lot of extra money. And our luxury deposits producing faster is also pretty good. It's about half of our influence output, which will slow our rate of trading systems over to the Academy, which does have some significant benefit. I think I'll hold off on this for now. We're doing fine on money, just selling resources periodically. Okay, so... when do we call it on this war? I mean, Lyra's defenses are destroyed enough. I don't think we have to hold off for 6 defense here. Let's just go ahead and blow this up. Super blitz them with our 15,000 manpower. And I'm not interested in trying to make the conquest victory happen. Even a solo conquest victory, I guess, if we were willing to leave our alliance, a solo conquest victory only requires control of 32 systems. And we're at 20 already. Maybe, actually, that's probably the fastest way to win if we think it's not going to be the case that we can get the group supremacy victory. So yeah, I guess let's start taking control of everything, and we'll just figure the approval out. So what do we need here? First of all, probably colonize that. Secondly, I guess get the 60 dust or whatever this is going to be. Get me some predictive logistics, and then, like, yeah, just, you know, stuff. Sure. Build one of these. You know, dust. Get some dust. Okay, it feels to me like we should send some Zermisala over there. Where's the closest place that we have some? There's not really an easy way to do the thing I'm trying to do here. I guess if I knew the names of the systems and their locations well enough, we could do this from the system menu a little bit faster, but I don't. Okay, here. This is a fine spot to do it from, I suppose. So we need... Let's send like 2 units of Zermisala population to... I've already forgotten the name of the system. To Lyra, where a whole new planet is about to open up. Was that Hamal that I was sending them from? No, it was Kuma. Yeah. To Lyra. Hopefully they'll get there quickly. And then these other new systems don't really have population space, right? Like Maz has some. Hard to know if, well, that's right. A bunch of these slots are actually kind of locked. Well, whatever. It's fine. I'm not going to stress too much about it. We don't need the law, necessarily, whatever their law is. I'm just curious what it is, because you don't really get opportunities to see what the minor faction laws do all that often. And if that's the case, if that's what we're thinking, maybe we should come down here and conquer the rest of this stuff. Maybe I should bail on the big alliance victory entirely, since it seems like it might be tricky to win and also might take forever. I hate to do that to all the people who have fought alongside us for so long, but they have failed to keep their house in order in a way that's going to make it really awkward for me. Yeah, alright, let's, I don't want to just abandon Nerod. No, we could, or Lyra. I could probably just abandon Lyra. It's actually probably fine. The Umbral Choir. Looks like they have it under control. So let's all head this way. Actually, I should probably just select all and go this way. Oh, except I should probably be careful about the second loyal cohort because they're way faster than everybody else. You know what? It's fine. If they get there alone, they will trivially win that battle. We could probably just fly over there and win it right now with the fleet from Gemini, actually. So let's do that, I suppose? You know what? We'll show up in force. No reason to fight a battle where we're not overwhelmingly favored at this point in the game. Do we have advanced demands view? We do. Give me stuff. Give me your economy. I need your entire economy because I'm doing a terrible job of running my own. And also, he only has 19 adamantium. I was kind of thinking adamantium this time over the higher tier resources because of the fact that it sells so much better. And we don't really need either of these, but I guess taking one of these makes the most sense, monetarily. And the penalty will be the diplomatic one. Just completely nuke your influence output. Alright, he is at least able to tell that giving up his influence output would be immediate suicide. How are we doing on his systems? We almost have Elyon in our influence. I suppose, if we're talking about taking over now, maybe it'd be a good idea for us to pick up Supralite content and give us the ability to take over systems through influence output rather than just giving them over to the Academy. What is this that I'm researching now? Honestly, this is probably the highest priority. We're going to pull an audible here because I don't trust the AI. And to be perfectly honest... Oh, we have hacking operations, right? To be perfectly honest, I'm not sure that we've gotten a lot of value out of out of this alliance. Do we even want to bother hacking Nakos? I don't think it'll still exist. I mean, like, it'll be ours by the time that hack completes. Well, what's the garrison on Nakos look like? That's a fair amount of manpower there, actually. We could try to hack it just from Gemini. Just hope that they don't land the trace. Yeah, sure, why not? Hacking it from anywhere else would be safer, but it also probably would not complete in time for it to be meaningful. Yeah, like I was saying, I'm not sure we've gotten a tremendous amount of value out of our alliance, actually. It's pretty much just the Umbral Choir who have helped us with things, and even they have been an inconvenience as well, you know? So if we're currently at 20, if we were, I believe we're allowed to settle on Gatria, even though it has sanctuaries on it. The sanctuaries do not prevent other people from being settled there. Oh man, do you have any relevant skill points at all? No, right? I guess. Sure, this. He's too high level.
Don't care what you think.
I refuse to cease my peaceful theft of your systems. And in fact, you even asking me that makes you look weak enough that apparently my, that's a shame. They detected our hack immediately. Even asking that apparently makes my pressure so much more powerful.
Don't care what you think.
Alright, so hold on. We are now at 21. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we were to get a bunch of these for us, 9, 10. Yeah, like this is extremely doable. We can definitely get to 32. I'm pretty sure it was 32. I'm reasonably certain it was 32. So that means that we just have to start colonizing. I suppose we can right now build ourselves a petitioner. We'll get that petitioner out to Gatria. Start building that up. I don't know if we're allowed to settle on Procyon with it being guarded by another player, even if that player is an alliance mate. I suppose we'll find out. I'm gonna build the other petitioner for it. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But at this point, we're pretty much just like playing out a certain ending. We should also colonize Nos, I suppose. That was not my plan, but am I allowed to colonize a system that's in the hunting ground state? Because other people can turn it into a colony, but none of the planets have the filled-in circle that marks them as colonizable for me. I cannot change my mind on this, I guess. You know, I could probably have given these things. Oh, I have the hangar selected. I was like, why isn't he moving? I could probably redesign my petitioners. They don't have very good engines right now. You know, actually, their engines are fine. Also, we're probably not going to be settling a lot of stuff in this very old-fashioned way. Most of the systems we're taking at this point are going to be things we take through force. People give stuff to us because we force them to, with violence. Let's do one of these. You know how this goes. Just in case he tries to get tricky with third flotilla shenanigans. Although, honestly, retreat is probably the thing to... Oh, huh. He did not, in fact, retreat. I'm going to say retreat is the thing to expect, because they could fall back to Hydrus very safely. Okay, well, it was nice of them not to, I suppose. Makes my life a little easier. I wonder if they're ever actually going to take Nerod. They do have boots on the ground on Pegasus, and they're winning. We do need to get people over to Cetus. Well, I don't know. That's not urgent. We have a much tighter, clustered group of systems over here. Okay. More influence? More influence never hurt. Oh, we did successfully hack Hydrus, and with that we are going to do what? I don't even know, man. It doesn't seem to me that it's terribly useful to embed a sleeper, given what we intend to do here. We could mess with their government a little bit, but I don't know that that helps either. Those jam commands for the hell of it, and there's not really a lot of useful hacking to do at this point. I think we might stop bothering with the hacking system, actually. So in 2 turns we'll be able to start seeing the conversion costs. You can only convert systems from players that you are not at war with. So we do need to get out of war with, well, I was going to say we need to get out of war with the Riftborn if we want to do any peaceful conversion, but I guess why would we do any peaceful conversion when we could just do military conversion? Peaceful conversion system is it is fun to play with. We'll use it on the Cravers as much as we can just to avoid having to micro more ships around. I think they dare not declare war on us at this point. Alright, yeah, there's a sanctuary, but it's fine, we're all friends here. Looks like this tiny atoll is probably the smartest place to put the initial colony. And then... oh, right, this was a hunting ground. There's, like, already developed stuff here. I totally forgot about that. Or I sort of expected that maybe it might be gone. Because even though I know that the Umbral Choir made it not a hunting ground anymore, I thought it's still, like... the fact that it didn't appear to be a hunting ground didn't necessarily mean that the process had stopped. It just meant that the indicator was no longer displaying. Well, we should send some Zirmasala to here, too. There's space, and it's actually quite close to our systems. Are there any on Aquarius? There are a couple. Yeah, let's send these guys over to... Gatria. You'd think, at this point, I would know how the alphabet works.
It is in the spirit of...
There's literally no benefit to being in a... Oh, Altair was compromised. Somebody is hacking my capital. Ooh, and in the capital, the approval loss from domestic surveillance actually matters. Well, whatever. Here, build one of these to help you get over it, and then... I suppose we could just temple this system out. Maybe a good idea, actually. That'll make us completely immune to approval loss. There's 11 points of our home population here. Okay, and that'll also help us push over Hidel, which I have no idea how Hidel has managed to stay outside of our influence bubble all this time. It's madness. Alright, we have another ion wave ready, not that I think we're going to need it. Careful sweeping seems like an important thing, and then probably... I mean, this is not very good here. This is probably not even worth building. After we finish the careful sweeping, we should probably upgrade it to level 4, so we're getting the full benefit of the careful sweeping, but that's a concern for another time. I don't know what this ship is doing here. Let's just blow that up real fast. Why would you send a single medium ship? I don't know, maybe they were building it on Nakos when we showed up, and they were just trying to get it out of there, so they pulled it out of the hangar. But unfortunately, that's not really how that works. We have ships in orbit in guard mode. This is a very bad idea. Okay, Pegasus has been cleared out, which actually says to me that we need to get a colony ship out there. I guess that that was going to finish at the end of that turn, no matter where I put it in the order. I didn't really need to bother moving it around. Let's go ahead and head down to here. We're in our territory, thanks to our ridiculous influence bubble, so these Craver ships can't attack us without declaring formal war. Which I think they would be very foolish to do. Like, I know they have a big fleet here, but I think they would get completely crushed. And they're trying hard to build up something. out of curiosity, we should probably have a quick look at this so that we know like how strong this mechanic is in the future. So even a system that's had a long time to develop, like Turkana, doesn't end up tithing us very much. What about these other systems that we've converted? 78 science. So, I don't know, converting systems to the Academy for the purpose of benefiting off of the tithe seems like it's maybe not even a thing worth worrying about. You just don't get enough value for it to be any good. Using the Academy as a buffer zone between you and potentially hostile neighbors, on the other hand, does seem like a reasonably intelligent play. I'm not really sure how to best take care of this, or take advantage of this. I suppose if you got yourself into a position where you could convert several systems early on, you're not just messing with the development of another player. We want to put down in the system that has, on the planet that has more production. Now, let's take the medium Terran planet, because it's a place that will make us less miserable. And then we can figure out the rest of it later. Apparently this was already colonized for us. Probably by blue. Okay, let's get the basic support structures up here and start constructing ourselves a system. And then we should probably, like, colonize all this stuff. Wow, we really don't have any production here. Interesting that we didn't create a single point of population when we put down our colony ship. That's pretty strange. Let's go sell a bunch of a resource, make ourselves some money, and then rush a couple of these things. We'll do that, and then we'll send a couple of units of Zir Masala here as well. Are there any on Lacerda? No. Tikal doesn't have any population room anyway. We can send some more from Kuma. And as long as we keep them as the boosted population type, this should get us where we're going. Procyon. Okay. Just make sure we keep them boosted all the time. Alright, this thing happened. As a group, we raised the amount of science output in the galaxy.
It is in the
Not really a thing that I had a tremendous amount to do with. Alright, everybody's still got lots of stuff to build. And we have finished that. So now, on planets, we will have this additional option to just buy stuff into our own empire. It's expensive. Oh, interesting. I'm allowed to just buy stuff off of the Academy for super cheap. I was assuming that these systems that we gave over to the Academy were completely lost to us. And conversion to Academy progress is conversion to our system progress. That's interesting. So you can build up progress the way we just did, and then snap up a bunch of systems on the turn that you get the ability to snap systems up. That would be really frustrating to play against. So if we could run these guys off, we could take Duce for free, basically. I'm gonna grab this. So Fidus is mine. That's a tremendous amount of population space. This system has basically no value, though. So I think we're probably just going to temple it. I mean, a lot of food's coming out of here. That doesn't really help us. I'm just going to... Well, do we want to temple it? Maybe what I should do, actually, is try to make it... Just lay out atemporal finance everywhere, even though it's not very... Even though this system is not terribly well suited to it. Just try to turn this into a moneymaker, because we do still need to be making more money. And then, oh, they don't even have microwave pipes here. What are they thinking? Hold on, microwave pipes are the highest possible priority. Why would you ever build anything else? And then, yeah, there's just some basic stuff that could be done here. So do I want to attack this fleet? Probably. We might suffer some losses. We'll win that fight, but we might suffer some very temporary losses. I should probably be careful about converting too much too quickly. We're still holding for right now, but we're way over our overcolonization limit. all these things, especially the ones that we can buy from the Academy, I should hold off and buy them on the turn that we're going to get to the number that wins us the game, so that we're not sitting on all of that extra disapproval. We should take stuff from the Cravers the instant we can do it, but the Academy systems can wait. So we don't need to worry about this just yet. Okay, how is this going? Another turn or two of that, and we have Nakos under our thumb. Next turn we will produce a petitioner. I really dislike Isiander and his ships always being all up in my business. It kind of looks like the Umbral Choir doesn't actually intend to attack Nerod. They're just sitting around it and keeping it under siege so that I can't attack it safely, which is very annoying. I wonder how long it'll actually take the population to reach Procyon. Also, what's going on Aquarius? Why do we have a red ring? Okay, well it's orange now. Orange is better, certainly. ESO's not going to flip because it's their new capital, I guess. We'll have to take that one by force. It is very funny to me that this pirate fleet that's been sitting here forever has reduced that massive garrison down to nothing because it's just been sitting there for so long. Oh, that's true. I do possess an awful lot of cold planets. Alright, in 20 turns, own the system producing the most industry for an amount of dust that is completely irrelevant. I think there's a big problem with the rewards scaling throughout the game, which is to say that the rewards do not scale very well throughout the game, and so you end up with a quest that you are given on turn 223, awarding you with half the amount of dust you can get by selling a handful of resources on that same turn.
As a creature of solace.
Okay, I do not feel like I'm under attack, but I appreciate your desire to help. Kupas is leveled up, and he doesn't have anything relevant left to take either, right? I mean, he could grab... No, he has no commander, or no governor skills at all. Okay, whatever. You, on the other hand, still do have cool stuff you can grab. Like a reduction in the upkeep cost of your fleet. So I think he has all the effectiveness stuff already. I refuse this truce. I actually don't even care about what happens to you anymore. It's just that my allies are doing such a good job of kicking your ass. Why would I stop them? Yeah, let's go ahead and build an autonomous administration here. Try to keep ourselves from getting too unhappy. Now they want a truce. Okay, see, now it's a little bit more interesting because I would have to pay an actual cost. Yeah, if we're not going for the supremacy victory anymore, I accept. I do not wish to pay 2,600 influence, and I could use the dust. Use their tithe. So this is coming down by like 4,000 influence per turn. I think we will buy Elion the very moment that we can. It has a tremendous population. It's very useful. We'll wait one more turn on this, so I think we're good then. Oh, except I should actually have this ship flying in the direction of Pegasus. We should make sure we get that before anybody else does. $24. So 5. And then 6, 7. Then we can acquire at any time, so we need 5 more. This is very doable. This is extremely doable. And I do have a hacking operation unassigned. You're correct. And I'm just going to leave it that way. That's right. Throwing caution to the wind. I'm not getting maximum efficiency out of all of my resources. Take that, everyone's expectations. I'm a rebel. I don't even see how Green intends to get out of this war. It seems like it's just going so very badly for them. And I wonder about the fact that we really haven't seen any warships from them in a long time. Like, do they not have the ability to build stuff anymore? Have I crippled their economy? It seems like they should be trying to mass up somewhere, right? They're not even suing for peace the way that Wait, did we not get him? Ah. After I clicked invade, somebody else signed a peace treaty with him. He is suing for peace. He's just trying to go around me. Well, bad news, buddy. That's not how that works. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to launch an invasion this turn. Because we already launched one, so I guess we'll solve that later. Also, the thing I'm doing is not genocide. I'm not killing any of the Riftborn. The Riftborn are welcome in my empire. Let's not throw around the G word. So Pegasus, we could grab Mira probably. Could and should grab Mira. Let's have Lyra produce a petitioner. Yeah, we're actually not even very many turns away from finishing this. It turns out. Now, there has been a bug. I believe it was corrected, but there used to be a bug with leaving an alliance where it didn't correctly detect your progress on victory conditions. We'll see if that is the case still. There was a workaround for it. We had a trade agreement with Blue? Did I accidentally sign a trade agreement with somebody? Why would I do that? Alright, reboost the Zir Masala. I would like to get to 50 Zir Masala. I mean, I guess I could do that off camera. I am not, in fact, allowed to colonize in a hostile influence zone. Ah, the problem is that Nerod is an issue, which is going to prevent us from taking Pegasus as well. Well then. I suppose we could turn the army around, but honestly, I don't think we need either of these systems, right? Is any of this stuff fleet stuff? I guess this is. Nope, that only matters for people who are political leaders. Well, he doesn't have anything else to take, so he's taking it. I think you guys are done. Just produce dust, I guess. We don't even need science. I suppose I could flip all of our science producing systems over to dust. And maybe re-specialize all of these to atemporal finance. Okay.
It is in the spirit.
Still no. This is my number one most requested feature for any future 4X that might come out is give me a way to permanently block certain kinds of deals. Let me press a button that says no and also no to this deal forever. Okay, so this turn we can get back on the ground here. Should be a pretty easy win, considering they have not been able to rebuild the population of this system at all. And then, let's go this way first. We can come back for Fagus. So select all, everybody to Hydrus. Start doing the thing there. Xenotourism, money, money, money. Make all the money things. And then re-specialize. I mean, we're not in any danger here, but yeah, okay. Do all that, and then we'll worry about stuff later. Okay, so we finished grabbing the relic with our fleet. I don't think I want to move that fleet. I don't know what these guys are doing. So next turn we'll be able to afford this, right? The cost will fall enough that we'll be able to grab that. Working on this, and this one's easy to buy. Should we just buy Cran now then, since we can? Again, like if we don't buy them right away, then the Cravers can declare war on us and prevent us from getting a hold of them in this way. So yeah, I'm a fan of purchase them immediately. This is pretty good here, and then, I don't know, man. Temple it? We're close enough to the end of the game that this probably doesn't matter, but there are some more systems down here that we could exert some influence pressure on. Oh, sure, and I also have to not let my empire go bankrupt. Man, it is remarkable how the price of these middle tier goods is holding. We could sell, like, I don't know, 50 of these. That'll hold us for a bit. What is this? There's an unknown... there's a bunch of pirate ships just fly... I guess there's a system here. So maybe they're flying from here to another unlinked system that's way over there that the Cravers own. And this fleet's in, like, privateer mode. We are close to achieving a victory via conquest. So you get the first of those "you are close," someone is close notifications when they hit half. We are not, in fact, close. That's not what that word means. We're still only at 7 out of 10 capitals, which means that whoever lost their capital has not managed to get it back. Ah well, we've moved on, strategically speaking. And over on Gatria, it turns out we have an embarrassingly large number of things that we could yet build. Alright, so Gatria has a single unit of Zirmisala population. It also doesn't really have any food. Feeling pretty mutinous right now. I mean, we'll get there. So I think what happened here is that the Zirmisala arrived and one of them immediately starved to death. We definitely sent 2.
It is in the spirit.
That's annoying, but it's not not something we have to worry too much about. Alright, we've completed a whole bunch of research. Nothing that we can take at this point really matters. Yeah, research stuff in the top tier. We are not going to win the game through science. Alright, we are going to grab ourselves some dust here. So this will take... Honestly, we could attack in 2 turns and be totally fine. Currently at 26. So with 2 easy purchases and a third one that we're, again, working toward, I mean, the cost is continuing to fall. We're probably only a few turns out, actually. We get Hydrus, we get Mizar. That puts us at 28, plus the 2 Academy systems, plus Elion means we have to take Hydrus, Mizar, and Kionos, probably. It would be nice if we were allowed to colonize these. It's a little unfortunate. Is there a place, like... I'm going to pull one of these ships back to Nos and see if maybe, despite the fact that it is clearly telling us that I am not allowed to colonize it, maybe they'll let me do it anyway. You know, sometimes there are display errors in this game. We've seen that. I don't think we have anything of terrible import to do on this turn. Let me guess, you want a trade agreement. Hey, what a surprise. Even if you're not going to give me a button that says, hey, don't ever ask me this kind of trade deal again, maybe the 17th time the AI gets turned down for the same deal, 17th consecutive time, they could go, alright, that's just not going to work. that thing seems not to be having an effect. Let's stop doing it. Alright, 17k, so this is going to come down. Honestly, next turn we could probably get Elion. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and drop here. We don't need to wait. I'll take this, thank you. I was kind of looking forward to, you know, being friendly and winning the game in a big team, but what are you going to do? We are going to have to run the Cravers off here, but I don't anticipate it being an issue. Actually, you know what I should have done? Oh, never mind, it worked out. What I was about to say, what I should have done is just had one fleet get over here and we ion wave them. That works just fine.
It is in the spirit.
And it lets us use the ion wave. And I'm sure this is the Cravers being upset about the thing I just did. Yeah, I'm never going to stop attacking. It's just not happening. Feel free to declare war on me over it, though. Speaking of declaring war, is it time to do this thing? Probably not.
Our purpose is to kill.
Alright, they're increasing their defense generation, something tells me, irrelevantly. And you're not wrong about the unassigned hacking operations. I suppose I should have started something building on Hydrus, but is it going to matter? Is anything significant even going to complete in time? Man, they got Elion up to 60 population. That's very impressive. I mean, Cravers are masters at jamming population points into a small space. Okay, next turn we can buy Elyon off of them. It took some doing. This was not the easiest or most straightforward game of Endless Space 2 that we have ever played. But we get there. We get there eventually.
Our purpose is to kill.
I absolutely will not cease the theft of your planets. I love thefting your planets. It's my favorite thing to theft. Okay. We have so many messages all the time. I get it. I'm a big important person. Everybody wants to talk to me. Everybody's talking about me, I assume. Just like in real life. An assumption that everybody is always talking about you. You walk past a group of people on the sidewalk and they start laughing as you go past, obviously talking about you. Okay, let's sell some Quadronix this time. We don't need all this Quadronix, or indeed any of this Quadronix. I suppose I could have just sold all of it. Oh, they formally declared war on us. Cowards. That is going to very slightly lengthen things. So, with this battle, do we want to just put leave one Chancellor in each of the two top flotillas and take advantage of this thing? It might not work the way we want it to work. The flight paths still generate in a way that's not 100% clear. Should we... Hold on. Before this battle, which is pretty large, I'm going to throw the Spoils of War Act on. And actually, our influence output is a lot less important now that we can't buy planets off of the Cravers, so I'm gonna throw on our murder enemy ships bill as well. Okay. Let's do it like this, I think. And I'm curious exactly how this is gonna go. It's hard for me to imagine them winning this, just given the ships that we can see. Plus 70% damage bonus on critical hit. That does seem significant. And they have a lot of bombers, and we actually don't have any ships with flak defenses in this fleet. So we're going to take some serious damage here. Maybe they can beat us. This is part of the reason I wanted to watch this, to see exactly what was going to happen. Although I will admit, I thought it was going to maybe load in a little bit faster there. Okay, it looks like we do have a flotilla firing arc advantage. Pretty serious one. Yeah, I think the bombers could be a real problem for us. Well, we win the middle battle very, very easily. Because they only bothered to put the single required command point in there. I think they're getting the screw a little bit here with these bombers running all the way to... the battle seems to have frozen completely. Well, I'll tell you what, this is definitely not my computer not being able to handle it. It might be Endless Space 2 choking a little bit on the battle engine, though. I think it has completely frozen. Yep, it sure has. Okay, great. Well, I guess we don't get to watch that battle. Yeah, part of the problem with the bombers, part of the thing that makes me reluctant to use fighters and bombers is that they target in such an unpredictable way. Like, the thing that made the most sense for their bombers from that fleet in that situation, very obviously, was for them to just go directly across and hit my third flotilla. It's a bunch of ships that they get their maximum damage bonus against. It has the smallest flight time, and it's where most of my firepower is concentrated. Like, that's a complete no-brainer. And if there's any kind of targeting logic at all running, you would think any of those factors might have been used. I wonder if the targeting choices made by the bombers are completely random. Because we've definitely seen bombers choose to fight small ships over large ships when they have a massive damage penalty against small ships and a massive damage bonus against large ships, even just in this series. Yeah, the targeting might just be random. It makes it very difficult to choose them over your other weapon types, especially given that the AI does not seem to create large-only fleets in the same way that I do. Boy, I wonder if something serious has happened to my Endless Space install. This has taken already about 4 times longer to load to the main menu than I am used to. You know, it could very well be the case. All right, yeah, that seems like the right turn. It could very well be the case that the engine is just choking a little bit on all of the stuff it has to keep track of. This is a very large game in a very developed state, so there's a ton of colonies and a ton of ships everywhere. Hopefully we will not have lost too much progress here. So if we fail to destroy this Craver fleet, we certainly have systems nearby that are capable of producing a new set of ships pretty quickly, and I do not think we are in any danger of getting invaded by these guys. I think it's actually going to work to our benefit to have not taken the Academy system yet, so they won't attack that. I'm kind of curious what their plan is for after this fight, even if they do manage to take our fleet out. Like, they're stranded in the wrong part of the galaxy amidst a bunch of planets that are heavily defended and honestly very productive. Their fleet cannot be long for this universe, and then them attacking me does prevent me from buying out a system or two, but it also definitely kills them as an empire. It's tough to say what the correct move is for the AI in a situation like that where they're already dead and it's just a matter of time. As a player, you would concede, but you can't really give the AI in a 4X the ability to concede unless you are absolutely certain that all of its decision making is bulletproof, because they will just oh wait, it's loaded me in at the very beginning of the turn here. We can't buy Elyon. So okay, we've not really lost anything. Godel gets, I don't know, something, food, whatever. And then is one of these the war declaration? No, he declares war in response to this. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing we can do about that, because we cannot suddenly generate the amount of influence that is necessary to purchase Elyon here. So that'll be... No? Okay. Oh, sure, I should probably, should probably sell some stuff. I see what you're saying there. So when you have a resource crisis, it starts to disband your units. Which is not, great for us. But also, we could lose three full fleets and still be fine, probably. We'll just go ahead and sell some stuff really quickly here. Just to make sure we have the money for, Okay. Yeah, buy this out before they have a chance to declare war on us. So it sold off part of our siege fleet, but not, enough for it to matter.
Our purpose is to kill.
He's talking to me about the power of fanaticism. Seems a little silly. So where are we at here? 28. Effectively, actually 30. We take Mizar next turn, and then we fly back to Kionos or Phagis or something. It doesn't really matter where. Fly back to some other system. So we're pretty much good. I'm not gonna... whatever. We're not gonna bother assigning a new hero. Move all of our ships to the places they're going. Nakatuan can grab... I don't know. Skill. Here on Gatria. Do stuff. There's definitely not 9 turns left in this game, right? Okay, I don't know why we're even getting pings asking for orders. These guys are in defense mode. They shouldn't have any questions. Oh yeah, Elyon, right. Wow, really? Elyon has all of this unexplored stuff. I guess the Cravers must not have the science necessary to explore these. I don't even have the resources for microwave pipes. Can you believe it? How embarrassing. Well, somehow we shall survive without it. It's true, I do have a hero. I'm not even looking at that hero. Weird that the Cravers would decide not to declare war on us in the second version of this thing. You know, it's just like that, though. Sometimes it's like that. Alright, well, at this point, even if I was allowed to colonize a hunting ground, we're almost inside of Green's influence bubble, so we wouldn't be able to take this either way. Okay, so what did we find? We got a point of amoeba population. The sim camp system improvement, a lot better earlier on in the game. Not that it's a bad thing now, it's just like, why would I bother building it at this point? Okay, it's some really, like, extremely basic resources. I don't know what that's about. Alright, you know what? You're good. Go to sleep. Don't ask me for stuff. We don't need to run these guys off just yet. You can't do anything, so also go to sleep. You guys are in guard mode. Okay. We attack this turn? Yeah, we attack this turn. Turns out the approval loss isn't even going to matter because we're not going to hold the systems for long enough for it to come into play. So that's 29? Yeah. Alright. We need to take one more thing by force. It should be pretty fast and easy to get to Fudges, and it can't have too much... never mind. I was going to say it can't have too much garrison because there's, like, no population. So this would be 5 turns of travel. This would be 4. Not a very difficult decision, if I know anything about which number is bigger than the other number. So many years of math schooling for this moment. Gautry has been compromised, which is pretty whatever, but also, yeah, you know what, I'm not even going to bother. Who cares? Go ahead and compromise it. So unfortunately, we are looking at a fair number of turns then, because we're going to have to get to Gautria. Maybe we can just buy another system. Where did all my influence go? You know, I should break my my research agreements. I'm being silly. We do not need to have these research agreements anymore.
Speak. You will see that our trials have not hardened our heart.
I don't actually know who I have the research agreements with. Here we go.
Your presence is agreeable to
cancel science agreement.
and the heart will.
I'm surprised at the amount of influence that costs.
Greetings. Hearing from you is pleasing, like unexpectedly seeing our reflection.
This Empire and their alliance are currently considering another contract. The Unfallen have not clicked OK yet on the contract that I sent them, which is annoying. It seems like that shouldn't be a thing I have to worry about. We unlocked a new population bonus for the Galvran. I don't even know who the Galvran are. Okay, these guys were added recently, I believe. They give plus science, and then of course some kind of law. I really wish the law was in that tooltip. So what does the cost here look like? 23,750. That's not too bad. We can get there.
Come,
Is he really not? He's just not going to click. Here, this is unilateral. You don't. You don't get a say. I am canceling the things. Okay, there we go. And this one as well. These science agreements were actually really good for us for a long time, but they have outlived their usefulness. And on Cran, I don't know, just stuff, whatever. Oh, and also we should probably not go bankrupt again. Seems like a good idea to not go bankrupt. It's weird that that closed instantly. I don't know, 150 of these should set us for the rest of the game, I think. Shouldn't have to worry about that again. So yeah, it may end up being the case that we don't actually have to take another thing off of green, because we might buy out Laren and the 2 Academy systems to finish it from here. We'll see if that ends up being faster. If he attacks and Mizar and actually takes it from us, I'm going to be very cross. We should probably, like, Move one of the defense fleets down there, please. Make that not such a sitting duck. Alright, here on Nakos, just 3D print some stuff. And then I assume sell the 3D printed goods in another market? I don't know how else that results in us having money. So yeah, they have a bunch of disconnected systems off of the constellation. I suppose their empire might be more impressive than we know about. It might be the case that that declaration of war wasn't as crazy as it seemed, because they may have, I don't know, a solid shipyard somewhere else that's built up an interesting fleet. We sure don't see it, though. So if this is coming down 9% per turn, it's gonna be like it's gonna be 2 turns before we can buy that, and then that turn we can finish the game, I think. I don't know. Take a skill that has nothing to do with anything, just so you have taken a skill. Let's get our defense fleet into place here. Yeah, and like obviously we're in a position. Oh, hey Lyra, it would be great if we didn't have some kind of huge rebellion here. What do you guys want? You want 25 gigalattice. Okay, I can make that happen. You know what we should probably do is just run the us or them bill. This is going to be a huge amount of money, or a huge amount of influence per turn. I mean, all we need is for our approval to hold for 2 more turns. We don't have to stress about this. Hold on, though. We did have another system in mutinous. That's something we should deal with if we can. Oh, they're mutinous because of ownership. Never mind.
It is in the spirit.
We don't actually care about that. Let's just make sure that we're mashing on the execute your movement orders button here, so that our fleet hits Mizar as quickly as possible. The Cravers could delay our victory very slightly by declaring war on us. That is an option that they have available to them. Our empire is actually mostly Craver at this point. I'll tell you what, that's how you screw up your demographics. Go on a huge conquering spree. Alright, so I think this is the big turn, right? Yeah, because that's going to come down to like 13 or 14 something. It came down to 15 something, but that's still good enough. As soon as it will let me click on that. As soon as it will let me click on that. It's a little weird with the things that it will actually, the commands that it will actually let you enter between turns. So now we need to run these guys off, which I think we just do by attacking. We could also just wait until next turn and take Fages. It's like we buy this. And then the other players are not even getting notifications that we're getting close to the conquest threshold here, because it doesn't look to the game like we are getting close to the conquest threshold. At this point, we can start running. Oh, I don't have the ability to pay the cost to initialize this law, but we can start running that law, and it fixes all of our approval problems.
We are sad to refuse this offer.
That's weird. I think things are breaking down a little bit. Horatio calling me up and telling me that he is sad to refuse the offer that he sent to me that I refused. There's just a lot going on, is the thing. The AI's brain is probably overheating slightly. Alright, we're going to try this. We're not going to watch it. We're going to enter the same tactic, but we're not going to attempt to watch the battle. And if these guys do in fact defeat us here, we'll be okay. We don't need this to go well. They did defeat us. We put them in a position where they probably do not win a second battle. Maybe. They have a couple of pretty upgraded butchers.
Our purpose is to
I am not going to stop attacking you, not ever. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever.
our purpose.
Okay, continue to upgrade your system defenses. Something tells me that we'll be fine. Alright, So it looks like we do have to wait until turn 237 to win, despite our best efforts. I gotta say, not exactly a not a powerful performance on our part. Okay, continuing to give birth here. We might be able to run them off, but who cares? We might be able to run them off, but who cares? Let's just do this thing instead. And by the might of our ever-expanding manpower drop, we reach 32 systems, and then we bounce on our alliance.
Speak. You will see that our trials have
Weird that
not
leaving the
hardened.
alliance is free when canceling a science agreement is so expensive. We go ahead and throw us or them on real fast, just to keep our empire from exploding around us. That keeps us at, like, content. And at the beginning of the next turn, it should recalculate. I own 34 out of the 32 required star systems. I'm not sure that that's correct. I don't really know where you're coming from here. Okay. Yep. Our petitioner is destroyed by the spiteful forces of the Umbral Choir. You know, it's gonna happen. Alright, so I think that we will win at the beginning of the next turn. I sure hope so, because our empire is rapidly falling apart around us. If we don't win the game basically right now, things are gonna go all the way to hell. Okay, there we go. It was a little dirtier than I wanted it to be, and we did have to bail on all of our allies. But we got there. I'm blaming them for it. You know, they couldn't keep track of their home systems, and I certainly can't be bothered to keep track of their home systems for them. I thought the ending cinematic was going to load right up there. I don't know why that was my expectation.
I look to a future full of hope and glory. Not the hopeful dreams of an untested youth, but the shrewd plans of a seasoned ruler. Though we mourn the lost and their holy messenger is yonder, it would seem that their power has not completely vanished.
That was... Boy, that wasn't even like an ending. What was that? Alright, well, I mean, you know, it's a 4X game victory cinematic. What are you gonna do? We got there. It was bad, but the AI did, thank God, did slightly better than we did, so we still managed to pull it out. And obviously, that is going to be it for this game, but we're definitely going to play at least one more. I'm having fun with it. I really, as much as I am frustrated by the way the AI behaves, which is to say, frustrated by the fact that the game is easier than I would like it to be, I still think the mechanics in this game are phenomenal. This is, mechanically speaking, my favorite 4X, and also presentationally speaking, my favorite 4X. So we're going to play one more, at least one more. I don't think we're going to play as the Nakalim again. I'm not really sure who I want to do. Let me know in the comments if you have strong opinions about who we should play and to what strategy, and come back next time, tomorrow, for that. Look at that. I remembered that during the outro we're supposed to put the thing up. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.